Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Craze of Commerce. Our today's topic is warehousing. Now, what do you mean exactly by warehousing? See, this picture tells us clearly that where you can store your goods, your bulky goods, or even less heavy goods, where you can store it safely, that place is called as a warehouse. Let's understand with the meaning. It is an act of storing goods that will sold or distributed later. Means the goods which are not in immediate demand into the market can be stored into the warehouse. The warehouse are used by manufacturers, importers, exporters, wholesalers, transport business, customs, etc. Means this warehouses is being used by many people, and those are manufacturers. The manufacturers, once they manufacture the goods, once they produce the goods, immediately the demand is not arise. So till the demand is arise, the goods are stored into the warehouses, you can say into the godowns. Then importers, exporters, when you want to import or export good, but there is some time span before importing and exporting, so till or meanwhile you can store the goods into the warehouses. Wholesaler, until and unless the goods are demanded by the customers or the retailers, the goods are stored by the wholesaler into the warehouses. So the use of the warehouses is done by n number of peoples, like manufacturers, importers, exporters, wholesaler, transporters, etc. Next is, they are usually large plain buildings in the industrial parks or the outskirts of the cities, towns or villages. Now these warehouses are situated nearby industrial houses, where once the goods are produced or manufactured, it is directly transferred to the warehouses, or else they are situated at the outskirts of the city, means far away from the city places, villages or from the towns. The main function of the warehouses is to store the products or goods before moving to the another location. Yes, what is the main function of warehouse? It is to store the goods until and unless the demand for that particular good arises into the market. Now let's move towards the functions of the warehouses. First is storage. Yes, the main function of warehouses is to store the goods into the store the goods at the place. Surplus commodities which are not needed immediately can be stored into the warehouse. Surplus goods means extra goods which are manufactured, or more goods which are manufactured but they are not immediately demanded, or which are not immediately needed, can be stored into the warehouse. And as in when the need arises, the demand arises, the goods are supplied, or you can say the goods are moved from the warehouses to the market. Next is price stabilization. Warehouses plays an important role in the process of price stabilization. That means it helps us to control the prices of the products. Now how it helps us in controlling the prices of the products? It is achieved by the creation of time utility of warehouses. See, as we know, until the goods are not demanded into the market, they will be stored into the warehouses, right? And once the scarcity arises into the market, that the goods are more demanded, or there is more need of the goods into the market, sometimes what happens, when the demand is when the supply is less of the product, the prices rises, right? Demand is more but there is less supply, so what happens, the price rises of that particular commodity. So to avoid this part, or to avoid this particular function, warehouse is very useful. Why? Because it helps us to create or to sell the goods as and when needed into the market. So what happens, when the market is facing some scarcity of the goods are immediately transferred from the warehouse to the marketplace. So the fluctuations of the prices, the fluctuation of the price of a product is not taking much into the place. Okay, so fall in the price of the goods when their supply is abundance, and rise in the price during the slack sessions are avoided. So this fluctuation can be avoided with the help of the warehouses, or with the help of storing the goods into the warehouses. Next is risk bearing. When the goods are stored into the warehouses, various risks come into the contact, like fire may occur, there might be theft, there might be explosion. So these all are the you can say these all are the risks which a particular warehouse has to bear. So warehouses are constructed in such a way that these all risks gets minimized. A warehouse keeper has to take the reasonable care of the goods and safeguard them against various risks. So these various risks which a particular warehouse will be faced, for that a warehouse has to keep a warehouse keeper who will look after all such circumstances. Next is grading and packing. Grading and packing means when once the goods are manufactured and they are brought into the warehouses, they are packed properly, they are graded according to their size, according to their color, weight, etc. So there is a assortment of the goods where there is a distribution of the goods according to its features, and attractive packaging packages are made of that products. Next is transportation. It collects the goods from the production places and delivers the same to the owners of the goods. Now warehouses also plays an important role in collecting the goods from the place of the manufacturer, from the place of production, storing it and selling it or delivering those goods as and when those are demanded by the customers or those are demanded by the market. Next is time and place utility. It creates the time utility by preserving goods till they are demanded. Unless and until there is a demand for the particular goods, those goods are stored into the warehouses. So that process of storing the goods into the warehouses is time utility, creating time utility. And place utility is what? Once the goods are demanded, transporting the goods from the place of warehouse to the place of customer or to the place of market is called as transport utility. Now let's study various types of warehouses. First is private warehouse. The word private itself says that the warehouses are owned by the private persons, like the individuals. Okay, these are owned and managed by the channel suppliers, that is manufacturer or traders and resellers, and are used exclusively for their own activities. That means these warehouses are owned, that means it is under the authority, or these are managed by various suppliers, or you can say by various manufacturers. These warehouses are only under the control of these private authorities or of the manufacturers. Okay, and the big business firms which need large storage capacities, who are in need of larger storage capacities, those person can have these private warehouses. Next is public warehouses. The warehouses are for use by general public, and anyone can store their goods in the public warehouses by paying variable reasonable rates. That means any person who is not having private warehouse or of not having the warehouses of their own can avail the facility which is given by the public warehouses, where they can store their goods in case of emergency, and they can give, and they have to give some reasonable rent for these public warehouses. These warehouses can be either private or state owned, can be owned by private or state owned, but in case they are of the private company, then they have to take the license from the government. Okay, and it provides storage facility to small farmers and traders. So this public, you can say this public warehouses is very beneficial or very helpful to the farmers or to the traders who are not in affordable condition of having their own warehouses, having the private warehouses. So they take the help of the public warehouses. Clear? Next is bonded warehouse. Now what you mean by bonded? These warehouses are owned, managed and controlled by government as well as private agencies, and these warehouses storage facilities is used to store imported goods for which import duty is still to be paid. Now suppose India is importing some goods from USA. So once the goods arrive to the India or arrive at the India port, these goods are first stored into the bonded warehouses. Why? Because till the custom duty is not paid. Clear? Once you pay the custom duty, these goods will move from the bonded warehouse to the owners of the goods. But unless and until you pay the custom duty or the taxes which are levied on these imported goods, you are not able to take the charge of the goods. Clear? So without paying duties, importers can take over or open the goods. Globally, it has been seen that these warehouses are found near the ports and usually owned by the dock authorities. Ports means it is usually found near the sea places where where the goods get imported by the sea or by airways and are stored over there. So these are usually found near the ports. Clear? So it is said that they are the bounded warehouses. Next is cooperative warehouses. The word itself says that it is a cooperative, that means it is for a social purpose and not with the motive to earn profits. Let's have a look over it. As the very name implies, these warehouses are owned, managed and controlled by the cooperative societies. These societies provide storage facilities on the most economical rates to the members only. That means the one who has formed this cooperative warehouse, the one who are the members of the cooperative warehouses will get the facility, can take the help of these warehouses by paying very reasonable or comparatively less rent. Clear? And this basic purpose of running such warehouses is not to earn profit. Why? Because it is a cooperative. It is not with the aim of running or earning profit, but to help their members by storing the goods. Clear? Next is duty paid warehouses. Duty paid warehouses is a warehouse where imported goods or on which duty is already paid and stored. See, in before we saw, that is in third point, bonded warehouse. These warehouses were like where you have imported the goods but you have not paid the duty, that is you have not paid the custom charges. Now this duty paid is a type of a warehouse where you have paid custom charges, where you have paid all the taxes which are levied on the goods, but as you are not having the facility of warehouses, or as you are not having your own warehouse, or you can say the imported goods are so bulky, so huge that it is very difficult to carry from one place to another, so these goods are stored at the duty paid warehouses. The main purpose would be that the importer does not have suitable warehouse facility. Also, he may not require immediate delivery of the goods. So, for these reasons, the goods are stored into the duty warehouses. Clear? And such warehouses are also useful for the re-export of the goods. That means, if I am importing goods from USA and without manufacturing those goods or without making any changes in those goods, same goods if I want to transfer it to Japan. So, for this re-export purpose, these duty warehouses are very useful. So what happens? It saves the time, it saves the transportation charges from one place to another, and immediately the goods are transferred to the third party. Clear? The next one is government warehouses. The government warehouses are owned, managed and governed by central or state government. So this is under the control of state or central government. They can be used by both private companies and government agency for the storage of goods, and they are therefore also considered a form of public warehouses owned by government. And the main benefit of government warehouses is that your goods remain secure. Completely security is there, safety of good is taken into consideration, and least expensive. They are not more expensive, but to keep the goods under the government control or under the government warehouses, you have to go through various formalities, you have to go through various documentation or paperwork. Then and then only you can store your goods into the government warehouses. And the last type is cold storage warehouses. The word cold itself says that the goods which need the cold environment to be stored. then maybe they are dairy products, maybe those are the fruits, vegetables, flowers which need some cold environment to be stored. For those purposes, cold warehouses are taken into consideration. Or you can say the perishable goods, that means the goods which has a very lesser lifespan, time span. Okay, so it provides the facilities for the perishable goods like fruits, vegetables, flowers, dairy products, etc. Here goods are stored and refrigerated at low temperature so as to preserve them for the future use. That means as those goods are having the quality of perishability, that means they may get perishable very early, they may get spoiled too early. So to avoid such circumstances, those goods are stored into the cold warehouses where those goods are stored with a lower temperature so they do not get perished at early stage. Clear? I think you have understood this topic. If there is any doubt, please mention in the comment section, and if you like my video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.